I've been a member of the TATDP since 2013. Previously, I held a role as the treasurer, and during my time as the treasurer, we worked very hard on growing the organization by establishing national partnerships, building financial integrity and stability. At one point, the TATDP boasted over 300 members in our organization, and some of those members coming from California, New Mexico, and Colorado. A bit about my school district, the Hearst-Euless Bedford Independent School District. The Hearst-Euless Bedford Independent School District was founded in 1958 when 3 cities kept their local governments separate but merged their school districts in order to become even more competitive and high-performing. HEB ISD's rich history of excellence is demonstrated today through international baccalaureate, Asian languages, Spanish immersion, core knowledge, pre-K, and sister schools in China and India. These international programs provide HEB ISD students a world-class education that prepares them to compete in a global economy. The district is recognized across the state and nationwide for its superior curriculum, low student to teacher ratios, and a singular focus on instructional spending. This fine-tuned combination consistently makes HEB ISD the district of choice for families who want their children to have an academic edge. HEB is rich with diversity, which gives the district a distinctly international flavor. Students come from homes where more than 70 different languages are spoken. These include children from Pakistan, Sudan, Mexico, India, Vietnam, and South Korea. The HEB ISD community has one of the largest Tongan populations outside of the South Pacific. A little bit more about HEB ISD. You can see the graph. The demographics of our student, again, like I said before, is wide and vast. Students with 2 or more races is 5.57%. Our Hispanic population is 30.87%. Asian population 7.52%. Pacific Islander 2.44%. African American 2.49%. Native American 0.34%. And our white students 32.76%. Our graduation rate is at 99.5%, and we're looking to get higher. Our employee breakdown consists of central administrators at 1.69%, campus administrators at 2.63%, professional technology and support staff at 10.40%, paraprofessionals 13.56%, auxiliary and support staff 2.65%, and teachers, again, make up most of our staff of 51.07%. Those are all people on our team. I want to acknowledge all those folks as being a piece to our puzzle. More about HEB. We serve 2.62 million meals each year. Our current enrollment hovers around 22,837 students. And again, our graduation rate is 99.5%. A breakdown of our educational dollar. The classroom teachers with supplies and et cetera get about 60 cents of that dollar. Utilities and maintenance, 0.11 cents. Campus administration, 0.6. School council, 0.4, as well as the administrators. Staff development, training, bus rides to school, and extracurricular all get about 0.3 of that cents of that dollar. Technology, 0.2. School nurses, 0.1. Library and security, also 0.1. Making that total of $1, with 60 cents of that going to our teachers. Okay, we want to put the puzzle together and integrate the campus, like the title says, integrating our campus and district team members for attendance improvement and student success. I want to make sure we highlight the HEB ISD truancy department and my immediate team members. Sonia Stanton is our principal. Mariana Reyes is our truancy secretary. Johnny Barrington is our lead truancy officer. Malachi Balahi is our part-time truancy officer, and I, again, am Xavier Warren. If you have a moment in the chat, I want you, if you could, just list your team members for student success, and you may type them in the chat. I'm a big proponent of writing things down. That way you can go back and look at it. An old man once told me, the shortest pencil is greater than the longest memory. So write those things down so you can see those names, those titles, and you can acknowledge those folks. Okay, we'll talk about our team members. On the surface, we have a traditional set of team members. If you just say, who is your team member to help students succeed? And most people list some of these folks. Your principal, your assistant principal, the classroom teacher, of course, counselors, attendance clerks, registrars, and those folks inside the school. But can you name some other traditional team members in your school district? And again, you may type those folks' names or their positions in the chat. All right, what we try to do here in HEB is also identify some of our less known or less identified team members. Those folks can be our homebound teachers, our McKinney-Vento programs, the non-traditional learning environments, which could be mentor programs, it could be an alternative homeschool, it could be a lot of other things. The mental health programs that some of our students end up going to also provide education. Our community partners, those who support the school district, those people who provide jobs to students and their families, and one of the lesser thought of members of the team that we see sometimes are the students themselves and their families. There's probably more. This list is not exhaustive. I have a few more I have written down anyway. So if I'm missing someone or some other group, write them in the chat. I would like to go back and explore what you write in the chat, that maybe we can help each other better serve our students all across this country. Okay, this is a question. We're not going to answer it right now. We're going to ask this question again later on. But who is most impacted by each team member's action or inaction? Okay, we'll answer this question a little bit later on. And when I say action or inaction, an inaction, it is by doing nothing is an action. So remember, we all have to do something. But type those in the chat if you can think of who might be most impacted by what we do and what we don't do. Okay, this part here in our school district is our process or our truancy plan. It tells us what we should do at each stop when a student has a certain number of unexcused absences. This is very important because in the state of Texas, we are mandated that we have a list and a set of truancy prevention measures that we must follow before we can present a good case to the court. The first one says, at the unexcused absence number 3, and there's 3 absences unexcused in a 4-week period, the intervention by the campus should be a warning letter. We can do that by print and or by email. Most of our campuses send that email. They also print that letter and send it via snail mail. All of our schools are required to do something like that to ensure that we get those notices out. It is important for me to also note that the earlier the intervention, the better result that we're going to have. So we really, really ask our team members to do those things in a timely manner. The speed by which we do that plays a crucial role. You can see that I have these in green because green normally means go and it's safe. So green, we're pretty good right now. We just don't know what's going on, but those warning letters should go out at a timely manner. The person who normally sends those letters out and those emails is normally your attendance secretary or your registrar. They'll get those out and we keep those documented and we'll go to the next stage. Also, the next step at their 3 days unexcused in a 4-week period could be a parent contact. The parent contact could consist of a phone call. It also is covered in this warning letter, email, or the printed mail that goes to the home. The parent contact, in my mind's eye, should probably be the phone call because that's now 2 steps two actions we've taken in the truancy prevention measure continuum to help us serve our students and our families better. Again, third unexcused absence in 4 weeks now normally requires a student administrator conference, and that's only done at the secondary level. Secondary for us is junior high and high school. And that conference should be with the principal, assistant principal, or one of the administrators to help us find out what is going on, how we can help this student get to school, what are the barriers that we might have that will prevent this person from being successful in school. We do all of these things, in my mind, not just as a truancy prevention, but also as a family preservation unit. So that's how we want to do those things. Sometimes the student ends up, so at the 6th absence unexcused in a school year, the administrator, it's now turned yellow, should have a parent conference. Now, at those parent conferences, we would like for them to be done face-to-face. That's best practices, in my opinion. If we cannot do them face-to-face because we have parents working and schedules don't work out, and your campus has a number of other things going on too with your AP or your principal, then we may not be able to do that thing face-to-face. We could always do it by Zoom, FaceTime, technology. If COVID taught us anything, it taught us we can communicate in more than one way when it comes to face-to-face communication. So the student parent conference should be face-to-face, like I said. The step also in that continuum says refer to intervention program. Now, at my previous district, we had an intervention program that worked well to help mitigate or remove some of those barriers that a student would have when it comes to truant conduct. Currently, Johnny Barrington and myself are working on that intervention program here in our school district. As we envision it, it would be a informative, it would be a video that kind of spells out exactly what the truancy laws are and what some of the possible consequences could be. That video, let me think about it, it's one already done. We just have to get it approved and put into a circulation. That video is no more than 6 minutes long, and it's pretty informational, very informational about what the law is and what we expect from students and families. That can be done at the secondary, primary, and at the parent level, which is great also. Also in that 6 absences unexcused in a school year is something called the attendance contract. Now I have these stars behind this because our current contract probably needs to be punched up. As a matter of fact, we are punching it up now. The contract should be comprehensive, but not wordy. The contract should be student initiated, based strictly on what the expectations for school are when it pertains to school attendance and school achievement. That contract should also be complete with remedies if the contract is not abided by, remedies from the campus and remedies from the student. Again, Johnny and myself are putting it together, and we'll have it ready soon. At the 6th absence again in the school year, the campus could assign campus-based discipline. Now, the campus-based discipline should be something that addresses the truant conduct. Sometimes that's Saturday school. It's something we call, could be ALA hours, that stands for alternative learning activity, to make up time for work that you may have missed. It could be a community service. It could be a number of things, as long as the underlying reason for that discipline is to address truant conduct, possible truant conduct on the student's behalf. At 9 unexcused absences in a school year, again, all these are done at the assistant principal level and the campus level. But at 9 absences in a school year, there should be another disciplinary step. Ours here in this district is an ISS, or in-school suspension assignment. I'm a little bit torn about that, because if the ISS does not address the truant conduct, then why should we do it? Secondly, is if a student is not in school anyway, or not in this class, why are we taking them out to put him in ISS? So it requires us to be creative in how we do what we do. My team members at the campus level, at the district level, all are very, very good about talking through these things. So I just a little bit about myself. I played a sport, football, in my younger days, and not everybody on my team I got along with, but everybody was pulling the same direction. So as long as we pull in the same direction, we can get that done. I think the direction here for us is high student achievement, great attendance, and that whole piece.
Xavier, this is Randy. We have a question for you.
Okay, Randy, go ahead.
From Angie. What happens if the contract doesn't get signed due to not wanting to sign it?
That's a very good question, Angie. What the state really just asked us to give a good faith effort. So if the contract is not signed, we send the contract again, and we'll send it 3 times, okay, until they either sign it or they just refuse to sign it. But we've given a good faith effort that contract has been signed. So if we send it electronically through the RaaWee system, we have a read receipt section. So if they open that email, they have it, they click that they read it, then we have it. So if they don't sign it, we gave a good faith effort to get that done. Good question. Okay. Again, at the 9 absences in a school year, the campus will then send the case as a final warning to the truancy officer, Johnny and myself. And then from that point, we'll work the case again. We'll review all the notes that are put in the RaaWee system. We'll see where we can better serve the student and what is going on and how we can help this student and this family. And when I say we work the case, that means we'll make phone calls, home visits, campus visits. If we have to go to a person's job, we don't want to be too intrusive, but we do what we can within reason to better serve the student and the family when it comes to school and student attendance. At the 13th day, in our state, it says 10 days. If you miss 10 days or parts of days unexcused, you could file a case in truancy court, where we want to make sure that we are doing above and beyond and giving every opportunity for the family to fix the situation themselves. So at the 13th day, unexcused absences, the case is referred from the campus to the truancy department for a possible filing in court. Again, we are still working that case, working the situation, knocking on doors, making phone calls, sending emails to see if we can better serve the student. If we give a good faith effort and it just doesn't work out, then we end up filing the case in court. And that's one of the last things we ever want to do. And you'll probably hear me say that again. Our job is not to file cases in court and have kids in court. Our job is to have kids in class, have them in class. Oh, excuse me. Well, come on, Zay. Okay. At the elementary level, the plan is a little bit different because as you see from the previous slide, that all schools do the warning letter, the parent contact, the administrative conferences, and those things. But at the elementary school level, we also file cases on tardies. Our judge has decided that 30 is the number for egregious tardy, okay? So we have the plan in place. If a student has 5 tardies, the parent contact is done by the registrar. At 10 tardies, the tardy warning letter is sent out by the registrar or the campus attendance secretary. At 15 tardies, the assistant principal is now involved with the parent conference, with the guardian, and refer the family and or the student to a intervention program. I mentioned earlier the intervention program that we're working on, the information video is a place right here where we can also get the parent involved in knowing what the law is. Once they get the 23 tardies, the campus then will send that case to us. It will come to us automatically, actually. And the final warning to the parent or guardian will go out from one of us, Johnny or myself. At 30, we'll consider filing the case in court. So that's kind of how that goes for us. It makes us, it's very busy for us, but that's okay. We want to do what's in the best interest of our students and our families anyway. Parents have 72 hours to clear the tardies by physician's note only, and tardies are cumulative from the beginning of the school year through the end of the school year. So we do file cases on tardies. If I happen to be going too fast, somebody raise their hand and slow me down. Okay. What is the
Hey, Xavier?
Yes, sir.
Really quick, we have another question from Tammy Clark. Are there separate tardy letters in RaaWee for your administrative staff that, are there separate tardy letters in RaaWee for your administration staff that sends automatically?
Yes. Yes. It's already pre-ported. All we do is, well, all the registrar does is select the correct tab, and it's already ports the student's name, ID, parent name, and it goes out like that. Yes.
And Carmen Flores also asked, do you also address early release?
Give me more about that question. What do you mean early release?
Well, we'll have to have it typed in. I'll have it typed in and I'll come back to you on that, Xavier.
Okay. All right. But if I hear it correctly, early release meaning being released before school is
early dismissals.
Okay, that's one of the hiccups that we're having too, district-wide and statewide, is that a student can come to school at his regular time but leave early. But we take in our district, we take attendance twice. And at the time that the attendance is taken and the student is present, he's considered present. This is where the documentation becomes helpful for us, because we see that pattern of an early dismissal. We may want to intervene to see what is going on. Because if a student's not in school and there's this pattern, what else is going on? Because they're still missing critical learning time, even if they leave early every day. Those are some things that are ancillary on our end, but we do address those often. Yes.
So one other question from Tasha Brown. What do you do in your district to get the staff to participate in making calls? Are there consequences for not calling?
Say that again, Randy, I'm sorry.
What do you do in your district to get the staff to participate in making calls? Are there consequences for not calling?
We try to incentive with, I use the word incentive, because there are no consequences to the staff for not calling, other than they'll call us and ask us what is going on with student A, B, C, or D. And we'll say nothing, because we don't have any documentation that anything happened. But the campus is interested in those kids being in school too, for a variety of reasons, for student achievement, of course. So the consequence really is that your rating, your ADA may be down. There's a number, the student is not learning if he's not in school. So the consequence is self-imposed. We encourage every day that that's done appropriately. Those documents be sent out, that we documented in RaaWee appropriately, so that we can manage our jobs a lot more efficient. All right, great questions, great questions. What is the truancy department doing? And this may answer some of those questions too. This is a list that I have. It's not exhaustive, but it is some of the things that we do to help drive our mission of high student achievement. We went over the processes just earlier, those last two slides, but we always, Johnny and myself, think about placing people over the processes, okay? We try to build relationships beyond truancy. We model behaviors that we want to see. We're visible as a support, and we're not just punitive. And when I say visible, we personalize each correspondence to the particular student and family. I always use the term your. I am Xavier Warren, your truancy officer. When I respond to them, or I send it, it's always we. How can we do this better? So we use a lot of pro-social language on what we want to accomplish. So the ownership of this is not just on the school. It's not just on the parent. It's not just on the community. It's on all of us. I often hear the term of a student being at risk, And I push back and say, well, the student is really not at risk. The community is at risk if we don't educate this particular student. So that's kind of how we formulate how we do what we do, because we place the people over the processes. The truancy department also, and this is outside of our day, outside of what we are asked to do. The truancy department, and that includes our principal, Sonia Stanton, every Monday, every second Monday, we do a community service at a place called Six Stones. They do a bunch of other stuff too, but it's a nonprofit organization that helps the community. We do the food drive. We're shoulder to shoulder with our students who are there. We model how we want them to do things. We have a conversation about giving back to the community and what it means to be in school every day. That's every second Monday of the month. Every third Monday of the month, we do another community service program at a place called Ashland United Missionary Church. It's also a mobile food pantry. Again, we lead from the front. We lead by example. We show these students how to go through the line and set everything up and speak to the people who are picking up food. So we're teaching skills outside of what they might learn in the school setting, or something they may not even learn at home. Again, the truancy department, we do our best to be visible outside of what we do. We're building that relationship because if we don't have the relationship, you know, we just barking at kids and they would sometimes not listen to us anyway. Every third Wednesday of the month, the truancy department helps to lead a program called TEAMS. That TEAM stands for Together Everyone Achieves More Success. It's a character education program done at one of our high schools, LD Bell High School. The curriculum is set forth by one of the principals. We team with a staff member or a teacher with about 15 to 20 kids every month. And we work on those character education. I say students, they're 10th, 11th, and 12th graders. We do that every month. Some of the family supports, again, we're visible in the community. We want to make sure that we're not just a truancy officer. We are also the person who wants to help you help yourself. So we email. Sometimes we've had a hard time getting people to court. We email those reminders a day or two before court happens, and we've been very successful at getting those cases heard by our court. We respond to the student and family's questions. They email us after court happens and what does this and that mean? And we help guide them through that process. Again, we use that pro-social language, we, your, how can, and we let them kind of fill in those blanks. The campus supports, our campuses see us often. Johnny and I are in those campuses knocking on the door, walking into classrooms and meeting students where they are and helping to remind them that you have so many absences. So that continuum of truancy prevention measures happens a lot. It happens a lot. All of our assistant principals are invited to attend court. We've had a few show up so they can see how that process goes, so they can better inform the students they're working with on what could happen in court. Again, some of our internal supports, again, our principal, Ms. Stanton, is very good about advocating for our position. She's been very helpful and supportive in what we do with her contemporaries to help further how we manage the truancy department. And finally, but not the end, Johnny and I do a daily self-assessment of each other. It seems kind of strange. We want to make sure that we're sharpening each other's skill set. So we'll go through a situation, or we'll talk about a process. We'll ask how you would handle this. How did I handle that? We look at each other's documentation to make sure that it is complete and concise. And all this is done every single day. All right, some more of the HEB ISD best practices. Go ahead.
Quickly, Xavier, we have a question from Daisy Johnson.
Okay.
Says, do you address excessive absences that are reported by parents? For example, student missing 10 days a month, but the parent calls in each day with a reason.
Mm-hmm. That's a very good question, that chronic absenteeism. And the chronic absenteeism is probably, in my mind, a bigger scourge than truant conduct, because we have a real remedy for truant conduct, which is the court action. But chronic absenteeism, it kind of goes below the radar if somebody calls in and makes the excuse. Well, here, after so many excuses called in by the parent, the campus does not accept them. If the student is sick every day, then the student might need to go see the doctor. And we'll document that, and we'll help them find the help that they might need. But we do know that it is not that simple. We're speaking about it in a simple term because we have a lot of parents, and most of you all probably do too, that are single family, or they are under housed, or one student is taking care of a younger sibling. One student may have a special needs situation that the older is taking. We know those things happen. So we want to make sure that we have the right information to better serve the student and the family. But the bottom line is they have to come to school on time every day and do their best. If we have to do some modifications and work some other things out, then the school district will do that, of course, within reason. But yes, to answer that question, we do address those chronic absenteeisms. Not as good as we should, but we do. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Okay, some of the other HEB ISD best practices tips. We didn't do it much this year. Johnny was out for most of the school year, so I'll manage the entire district by myself. But what we do in the mornings, we have something called a hero board. It's a sandwich board. We go to those elementary schools. We'll set up the hero board out in front. We'll open doors and greet parents and students. And HERO stands for Here Every Day, Ready on Time. That's a way for us to engage our parents to make sure they understand that punctuality is just important, and it is required at every school. So that's one thing that we do also. We also utilize some of our retired professionals to counsel with and assist at-risk families as a tool for the truancy department. We have a group called the Circle of Hope. These are two former counselors who have retired from the school district. The campuses and the truancy department makes referrals to those students who have been particularly hard to get in school, and for whatever other reason they might have. They may have, again, maybe a trauma, undiagnosed trauma, or what is it? Not undiagnosed, but I'm drawing a blank. Unresolved trauma, or something else going on that we can address and help that family with to help them get to school. We also have a bunch of different other programs. We have something called the Hope Academy. It is an alternative learning activity. It's an alternative learning environment, which is an online school-based program also, just to name a couple. We also offer training on policies and procedures and legal requirements regarding compulsory attendance laws to our APs and attendance clerks at the beginning of each year. Our hope is the next year 24-25, is that we do that twice a year, at the beginning of the school year and at mid-year. We do it throughout the year anyway, but that's a big group, either online or in person. We want to do that again, school year 2024-25. We encourage our APs to include us in the administrator-parent conference that involve attendance-related matters. Again, we want those conferences to be face-to-face if possible, because as we do truancy and truant conduct every day, Johnny and I have a different perspective on how that should look and how we can notify our parents. Again, our partnership with our school districts and with our campuses is very important. Again, Johnny and I are at every campus, just about every day, trying to help those campuses figure out how we should do what we need to do. At the beginning of every year, the truancy department, and throughout the year, the truancy department also follows up on no-shows and dropout situations. We have a policy in place that requires our registrars to inform the truancy department for students who withdraw with the code 98. And for those who don't know what 98 is, it's a dropout code. It's a bad code for the district, as well as students who withdraw with the intent to enroll in another school when there's no proof of enrollment has been received within 5 days. Sometimes we'll get a family who says, well, we're going to enroll in this school district. Well, until that actually happens, we keep that student on the roll until we get confirmation from the new district that the student has expressed their intent to enroll and the paperwork has been done. At that time, all of those unexcused absences, we can backdate from the time that that student is accepted at that school. All right, we do address verifications as a courtesy to the campus. If a family is not at home, we leave a door hanger. We have these yellow door hangers. If we go to a home and knock on the door and nobody's there, we leave a door hanger asking the family to contact Johnny or myself. Those have been very effective. It normally takes the family 2 to 3 days to call us back, but that's okay too. If they don't call back, oftentimes we'll loop around and see if they actually got it. And if they didn't get it, that's a pretty good indication that the family may not live there. If the family's not living at that home, then we'll find a way to find out where they live and how we can better serve them if we need to. All right, our campuses can send warning letters via email or regular mail. Thanks to the RaaWee system, we can send our attendance contracts to parents and they can be signed electronically. We also send reminders to the parents who have not opened their warning letter or attendance contracts. Again, every 3 days that the letter or the contract has not been signed, it goes out automatically through the RaaWee system. Also, as a part of RaaWee, students receive award certificates when their attendance improves. Sometimes just a phone call from the truancy department or just a little jar will help the family get better. And then RaaWee system can automatically send out, hey, you've done a better job. Way to go. Keep up the good work. Okay, how do we put this puzzle together? The first thing I put communicate.
Real quickly, Xavier.
Yes.
There is there's 2 things. I'm going to ask you to address some of the comments in chat when you're finished with your presentation, but Carmen Flores asked, do you have a picture of your door hanger that you utilize that you can share?
I do. If I can turn away from my camera for a second, I'll get one. Okay, give me a sec.
We appreciate all the questions and comments. Like I said, I'm going to ask Xavier to kind of look through the chat and address some of these comments and questions if he'd like to. That way everyone has opportunity as we move along. Thank you. I
don't know if you can see this, Carmen, or anybody else, but
we can see it.
Okay, our HEB logo, it says the time and date. You were not hit home when the truancy officer, Johnny or myself, will circle the correct person regarding the child's name from the school that the child goes to. Please call, and our number's at the bottom. On the back, there's some lines. Is there any more? If you want to do another note or express anything else, you write that on the back. So that's how we do that. And we just slide them in the door, and then that's about it. Oftentimes we get people call us back and they'll say, well, you came by today, but they don't live here. And that gives us another good indication that we need to look another way to find those students. Also, with the yellow hanger, other people in these, it depends, the apartment complex or the home, they see them too. And they know that we're out there. They know that we're out there invested in the community. So that helps us with credibility on serving our students and our families. Yes. Okay, we do our best to communicate with our families and our campuses. And I wrote the quote down again: people don't care what you know until they know that you care. I think, again, Johnny, myself, and this district really puts in a great effort to let parents and children know that we care about your situation beyond you graduating. We care about what's going on with you right now. We know that time is not created, nor can it be destroyed. So the time to get better is today and right now. So we really get that message across as best we can. So we discuss way beyond truancy, way beyond truancy. We behave with a purpose. Now, it's easy to go through the motions and do it by the process, but we always explore the why. Why are we doing what we do? And what is the ultimate goal? And the ultimate goal is high student achievement. The ultimate goal is to minimize the need for court referrals. The ultimate goal is to make somebody a contributing member of society. I try to tell students all the time and parents that truant conduct and being in court is really about this small on the scale, but it's a start. Truant conduct is really a gateway to another crime. If a child is not in school, what else is he doing? Is he safe? Is he Is he committing a crime? Is somebody abusing him or her? We just don't know. So the truant conduct is an indicator on what we should do as a school district to help our families. It's always been said that you can tell how good your community is based on how strong your public school system is. And I believe that to be true. So we have to do a little bit extra sometimes, a little bit extra. We make sure we document. The documentation, again, should be concise and detailed. If you don't write it down, then we can't prove that it did or didn't happen. In the RaaWee system, we want those things documented. It provides legitimacy. It provides follow-up. It gives us an idea on how we should file the case in court, if to file the case at all. Again, if we're not credible when we file our cases as the truancy officer, then we've lost everything. Our credibility and who we are as a school district hangs in the balance with your truancy officer. So all you truancy officers out there, know how important you are. Know how important you are. We also just present to the court and the general public the work of your campus. So that's how we keep our campuses involved. We have to interpret your work to the community and to the court. And we don't want to miscommunicate your message to the court and to the family about how you manage this particular case. One at a time. We follow up, we circle back, meaning this: if a child goes to court, or if the case comes to us and we work it and everything is fine, we go back and see what's going on. Johnny and I, we recheck the cases every month sometimes every week, depending on the situation. The RaaWee system has a selection. What we do, what is a monitor button. So we can monitor the attendance of a student every day. If they miss a day unexcused, it'll come in, we'll get an email, and then we'll respond to that email based on the number of absences that the student is continuing to have or not have. And we collect and analyze and respond appropriately to the data. Behavior is the truth. You can say anything you want to do, but you are really what you behave every day. So we track those trends. We can track trends. For instance, on April the 8th, we already knew we were going to have a low ADA. We had that conversation, Johnny and I. We've tracked year-to-year comparisons based on students. We track sibling-to-sibling comparisons. Last week, Johnny had a student he had to file on that he also filed on the parent 20 years ago. So all those are in place, especially through the RaaWee system. And the speed by which we do those truancy prevention measures, again, are very, very important. We have to do them in a timely manner. The quicker we get to them, the better it's going to be. The better it is going to be. Okay. Again, I'm going to ask the question: who is most impacted by each team member's action or inaction? We asked this question earlier in the presentation. If you have a different answer than before, you may type it in the chat. Again, you can choose. Like I said before, we have the power to be what we want to be. We have this time and moment in time to do that. The quote by William Arthur Ward says this: the mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, and the great teacher inspires. So we're all teachers in what we do in our chosen vocation. But what kind of teacher do you want to be, and how can you be that? All of these examples will get you a favorable evaluation. True. But what is your personal evaluation? Do you really want to inspire somebody? I'm going to speak for Johnny, and the answer for us is yes. We are here to inspire others to do better. We inspire ourselves to do better every day. What is the mission? I took this. This is the mission of the HEB. It's on our website. You can see it. The mission of the truancy department is to reconnect truant and potentially truant students and their parents with the Hearst Euless Bedford Independent School District through the use of multiple positive interventions. To me, this mission statement falls a little flat. That's just me. Johnny and I are going to, we've talked about it already. We're going to see what it takes to punch it up, make it better, make it more comprehensive, make it more true to what we really do every day. Again, here's your question. Who is most impacted by each team member's action or inaction? Give us your final answer, and you may type it in the chat. And if you want my answer, I'll give it to you. All right, here's our, any questions, comments, and thoughts? Here's our contact information. Johnny Barrington, we have the same address. There's his email address. These are our phone numbers. We are very busy, but we don't mind stopping, taking a few minutes to talk to people and talk through situations. We do it all the time. At the same time, we also make phone calls to other folks and ask them their opinions on how they do their truancy departments, because again, we're all in this fight together, and we have to do better for each other. That's all I have at this time, and I yield back to Janie and Randy.